Okay, guys. Hello and welcome to the second session of building Slack chatbot with Python. In the previous session, we've covered the two sections of the tutorial. One is the architecture of the bot, overview of the elements, setting up the programming environment. Covering the description of the web server, the database, and the bot server library. We also ran a super simple echo bot, which was manually installed and run, and basically that's about it. What we're gonna do in this session, if we have enough time, we'll cover all three subjects of the session, is building the authentication and installation page in order to make your bot available to other teams, not only your own, managing team approval credentials, and hopefully automatically starting a bot for teams who approve the bot. But if not, that's cool, because this is a technicality. The main part of this section is actually the authentication and the installation. Okay, so let's go over the elements that we need for this to happen. First of all, I'm going to Slack documentation, API slack.com docs auth, to see how I'm going to implement this stuff, and then what Slack requires in order to authenticate a team for a bot or a bot for a team. So if we go over this diagram, we can see our application, which is the web server. Is going to request the authorization from the user. The user is going to then hopefully authorize, and then the application is going to take the grant. The grant, which we'll cover later, is actually a code that Slack gives us. We're gonna send it to the service API and get an access token in return. The moment we get the access token, we can actually that's the moment when the bot is installed. That's the moment where the team sees the bot on their chat, and then we can actually start communicating with the relevant bot. Okay, so I'm assuming you saw the previous session, so I'm gonna go over again how to run the bot and how what happens when you install and how to install manually. So let's just go straight to it. So okay, first of all, let's see what you need to do in order to make your bot shareable, because bots are not shareable by default. You need to go to manage distribution. I already have the button and the other stuff, which if you follow the tutorial but didn't jump forward, you don't have. In order to have these buttons, head to Slack. You need to go to auth permission and add a redirect URL. Okay, in my case, I'm gonna run this in local environment, so I add my redirect URL is localhost port 8000, whatever, and auth. This is the path. This is where I'm gonna be expecting. This is where I'm gonna be expecting the authorization grant. Okay, this is the URL. Slack will send the code. The moment I've added this, I'm going to have all this stuff, which is the links actually that I'm gonna click in order to get the authorization pop-up, like you do with Facebook application, etc. I'm glad to hear. I don't use the Slack API a lot, but I have my other pet project is pretty intense. Is a bot which uses the API. It's built on Node.js, but the concepts are similar. So I'm a bit familiar with it. Okay, so let's see. After we add the URLs, which we already seen here, okay, the local host. Then I'm going to manage distribution. I'm seeing that I have all the buttons and I have all the links and all the stuff. And what I need to do, you need to check all the stuff. Okay, that's everything is green. I reviewed and removed hard-coded information, etc. Activate public distribution. Okay, from this moment on, your bot is installable by other teams, and I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna show you how it's installable with two teams. I'm currently one team here. One team is Tactidot, and my other team, you see, is Cookie Troll. We're gonna see how it integrates in both teams. Okay, let's see. So next, next we're following the documentation. Okay, how we actually, after we did all the preparation and stuff, how we actually authorize the bot. So we see, okay, so Slack explains the first step, authorization. This is the step. You need to open this URL and provide these arguments. Okay, how do we do it? I can just take copy this link, go here and build. I'm gonna build it slowly but surely, just to show you how it works, and then we're gonna make it automatically with a web server. So this link, http slack.com authorize client ID. Okay, I'm adding the parameter here, client ID equals, you go to your bot and you go to basic information. That's where you get the client ID. Okay, you add it. Next, next thing we need, according to the docs, is the scope. The scope is actually permissions for what are we asking. This specific case, we're asking for permissions to install a bot. So that's what we're gonna write. Bot. And the last one is the redirect URI, is where will we be expecting the code. You see the authorization grant, it needs to go to some URL. We need to get it somewhere. So this is the URL we're gonna get it from. And if you remember, we entered a redirect URL in auth and permissions. So that's it should be the same URL. This one, otherwise Slack will not accept it. Okay, so let's see what happens now. I hit enter. There you go. I get the team Cookie Troll. Let's see. It's team Tactidot. Okay, on Tactidot, Tremendous Bot would like to confirm your identity on Tactidot. Okay, basically what they want is to install, to give the user to give permissions for Tremendous Bot on this specific team. So I'm authorizing. Okay, and I'm going to this URL with the code. Okay, you guys see this? Okay. So we got to the URL we needed, but there's no site here. So now comes the more technical part, where we actually look at the server. You can find You can find the link here. This is I've opened the repository. Where do I put it here? I can put it in the chat for now. Okay. This is a repository. No, I'm not doing Django. I didn't want to go for Django because I didn't want to do all the headache of the setup. So I did a super simple web server, like it's a one-page server built in only with Python built-in tools. So we don't need to spend time on configuring and understanding Django. We just go directly with the code. So you can download the repository of the team authenticator from the URL I've posted. And now let's take a look at the code. So if you download or clone the repo, you will see that it actually has two files. Okay, one of them is server and one of them is index. That's it. We could do in less, but I didn't want it to be oversimplified. Let's go over the server super quickly, so we understand what's going on. This is the whole server. It's 81 lines of code, including some general spaces. Okay, so it's not complicated. It's a server that's included, simple HTTP server. It's included with Python, so you don't need to install anything, and basically that's the only thing you need is this file. You run it and it works. So what actually happens here? Port 8000, and keep serving is true. We'll see later why do we need this. The basic headers. Okay, this is the get handler. It handles get requests, and inside of it we have a response 200, send the header text HTML, the default reply, which is always overridden. We have the path and the query parameters using the helper function, which we see here. I'm not gonna go over the helper function. It just separates the path from the query and gives you a nice query object. I'm gonna use it later. You have for every request you have a print of the requests, of course, of the elements. Path index. Okay, if we see a path of index, we serve the index file. We're gonna look at it in a second. If our path ends with auth, if you remember, it's this path. Sorry, it's this path. Is the path where Slack redirects after the authorization. So we're gonna do some magic with handling authentication code and post a reply. And if the path ends with stop, it means stop the server. Okay, that's and what actually happens in this function stop the server is we're just changing the keep alive. Okay, so basically let's see how this works. I'm gonna open my folder of team auth and run server pi. Okay, so first of all let's go to index. That's what we have. Let's take a look at our index file. This is the index file. Okay, if you remember this URL, this is the URL I've entered manually in order to authenticate my team to Slack. So let's do this again. I'm clicking this, and magic, I see the authentication screen. Then I authorize, and I'm getting to the server to the redirect URL with my code. Okay, and the server basically at the moment it just shows me the code, just returns it's basically just an echo. And now let's see at the function. Let's look at the function. So this is the function that is actually supposed to exchange the authentication code for the access token, and that's what actually gonna install the bot on the team. At the moment, if you clone the repo, there's nothing here. This is the function we need to implement. So far so good. Yeah, I'm guessing it is. Okay, so let's see. In order to authenticate, we're going again to the Slack documentation. This step, the authorization, we've passed. And now we need the token issuing. To make it clearer, let's do it with the other team where I don't have the bot installed. Okay, I can go through the process of through the first part of the process again, and you'll see that the bot is not getting installed. Okay, on cookie troll, authorize. Okay, nothing happens. Okay, the bot is still not installed. We got the user's permission, but the bot, it's still not there. So we need to perform one more step, and this step is going to be the actual the exchange of the code for the token. This is step 2, token issuing. So what do we need to do here? First of all, we take this URL. I'm going to do it manually, like we did before, so we actually see that it works. I'm putting it here, and then I'm starting to provide it with variables. Client ID, we know. From the same place we took the client ID before. Information, client ID. Next, in the documentation is the client secret. Okay, this is the important part. You don't show your client secret to anyone. I'm just showing you because this is a tutorial, but it's meant to be secret. You keep it on the server side, you never put it on the client side. This is the client secret. Next, according to the documentation, is the code. The code is actually what we got from the user. From the user authentication, let's see. This is the code. Okay, you see code equals blah blah blah, long string. That's what we take. This is our code. And last but not least is the redirect URI. Okay, we had it. If one was sent, we must submit it for the exchange. So, and redirect URI, we're taking the URI where the user was redirected to, and ta-da! Okay, we have the access token, but the most interesting part, we got the access token. Okay. But the bot was not installed. And this is super sad. Ah, there we go. It just doesn't show in the chat. Here's the bot. Okay. So basically, what we needed to do, the steps again, is the first step we got. The second step, we need to build this URL with all the parameters we've got in order to get the token. So let's see how we do this. First of all, let's delete the bot from here as well, from both teams, so that we can see how it installs. Okay, tremendous bot. Pardon, I'm going to apps and integrations, manage. And okay, here, tremendous bot. I remove the integration. and here it disappears from here. The same I do on the other team, so that you don't say later that I cheated. Okay, apps and integrations again. Manage, and I'm removing the app. Okay, so now we actually have to implement the whole process. We have okay, thanks. Okay, Tony Code, are you following? Like, is it clear enough? I will be adding special commands for the bots later. If you see the curriculum, the last session, maybe the last or the two last sessions are gonna be simple behavior and complex behavior. But before that, I want to be able to install the bots wherever I want and distribute them to the teams. And once we have the infrastructure laid out, then we're gonna play with the bots themselves. Okay, so let's check out the complete installation process. What we have at the moment is only half of the process implemented. Is the authentication, let's say, request is the first phase. We need the second phase, and we do that server side. So basically, we're going to implement the authenticate code function. Okay, let's do this. So first of all, I'm using requests. It's a library. It's a Python library that's very convenient for making server-side requests. Here's the documentation. You install simply by pip install requests. Okay, I already have it, but that's how you install it. Okay, now. Now let's stop the server so that we can restart it. Stop. Okay, server down. Good. First of all, of course, import requests. Then we need to make a request to the URL we built here. The URL that with the client and the secret and all that stuff. Okay, so what do? We go to the documentation. I love the documentation, as you can see, and we do this. Okay, exchange URL. This, and okay, let's follow it. Client ID. And client secret. Okay, these two we have them. We don't need to get them from the user. The code is actually what we get with the response. And the redirect URL. Okay, so format. So the client ID, client secret, and redirect URI, I know them. If you have a few environments like production environment and QA environment, and then like you have various redirect URLs, you may want these parameters to be dynamic. In our case, again, I'm making it super ultra simple. So I'm just let's keep it neat. So I'm not gonna hard code it into the string. I'm gonna make constant variables. So let's say client ID, client secret, redirect URI. So client ID we take from here, we put it here. Client secret we take from here. Remember not to show your secret to anyone. And the last one is the redirect URI, which I can find here. Ooh. Okay, so I have 1, client secret 2, redirect URI 4. What I'm missing is the code, but I'm getting it from the function. Okay, authenticate code is not path actually, it's we need the query code, because we have a function that this is the function that breaks the query for us into variables, and that's what it shows. Okay, exchange URL, and the last we go requests get exchange URL. Let's see, just check the commutation one last time so that I'm not like okay, that's request, and that's it, reply JSON. So let's see if this thing is working. Reply, your code is this, and I'm gonna break the line, and response JSON is gonna be here, reply JSON. Okay, interesting. What do you guys think? Is it gonna work? I hope it does. Okay, let's take a look. So let's look again. There's no tremendous bot, and let's start the server pi. And go to index, connect to Slack. Wait, we authorize. Okay, so the JSON response was my access token, my bot access token. Okay, I got it from here, and again we're not automatically connected. Let's see. Well, we have the bot here. Okay, so let's see if the bot is integrated. Okay, there's the bot. We just we followed a few links, and the bot was installed. Let's make it faster. Now just follow it. Okay, remove and do the whole process again. Manage apps. Okay, no tremendous bot. Index, connect to Slack. Authorize. There you go, there's the bot. And now let's see that it actually happens for multiple teams. Manage apps. This is the other team. This is cookie throw. Okay, again nothing. And let's see. Index. Authorize, and there we go, there's the bot. Okay, which means we implemented the whole flow, the whole infrastructure. We have now currently we have the whole infrastructure to make our bot distributable to multiple teams, and to make it and we can actually interact with them. Just to show that it actually works, we take the bot access token from here, which I got as a reply. Okay, let's see. Okay, at the moment we see that the bot is offline. Okay, so now we're gonna run it. Let's see. Code tremendous bot. If you follow the previous session, you remember that we run this bot by changing the configuration file. Okay, and here is the Slack access token. In next session, which I don't think, we don't have time today. In next session, we're gonna see how we actually run it automatically and not manually. But here I put the token. I'm putting the token I got here. Okay, you see the bot is dead. I'm adding it to the configuration file, and I'm running RTM bot. Let's see. There you go. You see the green? It means the bot online, and I can send him a message. What up, bot? Hello, user ID. What up, bot, to you as well. Okay. So the token, hey Denver Cowboy, the token is valid indefinitely. Slack, they don't limit the token validity, so you can use it. Like I have bought tokens that I'm using for more than a year now. So so there's no problem with that. Okay. So basically that's it. I'm going to commit the implemented server. I'm just gonna remove my secret and client, but you can use it. You can use it with your codes and make it work. Make awesome bots. So if there's no further questions, I think we'll wrap it up, and I see you guys next week. Peace out.